welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me here today. Today we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting. I hope you could follow along with me. Let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done on my canvas. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double primed, and I added a thin layer of the liquid white. Liquid white, all it does is makes the canvas slick, wet, and ready to go. So, let's go ahead and let's get started with today's painting. I thought we could do like a sunset scene today. So I have yellow ochre this time. Let's go ahead and dab some yellow ochre into my brush. Just tap the bristles, both sides for an even distribution. As you can see around there. Let's come up here. Just lay out nice soft sky. I just want a soft sky. I don't want too much harsh colors today. So I'm just blending out any harsh brushstrokes or harsh paint that might be sticking out. Just blend it. It'll blend with the liquid white, so it'll give you this nice gradient color. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just a little bit. Maybe even a little bit of um, yellow ochre. Oops, got a little bit of phthalo blue in my brush by accident. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a nice color. So I'm mixing up alizarin crimson and yellow ochre, and just going ahead and just blend it. It's important you blend it completely. Okay, just like so. You want nice gradient blend. Go across very lightly. Okay, now let me take a little second. I'm gonna dip my finger into a little bit of titanium white. And you have the little fingerprint. Let's decide where our light source would be. Okay, let me clean off my finger. Let me grab a palette knife. Come up here to the canvas, scrape that off. And just lightly blend that. I want it to barely be noticeable. I don't want it too much. In person, it's less noticeable than what it seems on camera. Shoot. Blend it very lightly. Okay. Now we're gonna go into a little bit of phthalo blue. Tap it both sides of your brush. Now, let's come up here and just block in the rest of the sky. So just some phthalo blue. Let's beat the bristles out of the brush, or of the brush, I should say. And just where the paint colors meet, just blend it. The Bob Ross company, they sell damn, I forgot the name. A brush beater rack. So that way there's a clean dry new 2-inch brush. They sell a beater rack where you can beat the brush, the bristles. That way, if you're painting indoors, you don't mess up the whole furniture and all that type of stuff. Now, let's go ahead. Let me grab a fan brush. Let me load that fan brush up with titanium white. Load up both sides of the brush. Let's come up here, up to the canvas, and decide where at least one cloud lives. I think there lives a cloud right about there. Shoot. Just lay it in there. Now, very gently, no pressure, and just using the corner of your brush, you want to blend the base of the cloud, lift it up, and go across. Just like that, you have yourself a nice little cloud that is out there. Let's go ahead, let's put a mountain in there. I want this to show, so maybe let's put one mountain over here. There's gonna be a distant mountain. I don't want it to show too much, or I don't want it to pop too much at least. So just scratch or scrape off the extra paint on your canvas. You just want, I say it constantly, you just want like a basic stain on the canvas. Now, grab a 2-inch brush and just don't let your brush pass that line. Just pull it. And because you have liquid white, or some medium at least, you're able to move this paint around. If not, it's a bit more harder to do so. Okay, now let me go ahead. Let me clean my knife off a bit. Titanium white and a little bit of that ivory black. So I just want it light gray. And just shoo. Very little. I don't want too much attention on those mountains. Very gently. No pressure. Get better over time. Can't get worse. Now, grab this and just tap the base of that mountain. Okay? Now, let's go ahead. Let's add some shadows. So just some more ivory black to the highlight color. Just mix it up well. Okay, pick up that paint. It's basically a mountain in different shades of gray. The shades of gray mountain. Very lightly. Okay, now you gotta do the same for the other side. Very lightly. And just go across. Now, I think I want a cloud in front of it that lives in front of it. 9 minutes. Okay. Shoot. Just let it go crazy. That's a big old cloud. Okay, just very, very lightly. Okay, lift up. Now, if you think the colors are too blended in and you want some white to stand out, go ahead, grab yourself a palette knife, some white. Let's come up here, smear a little bit of that white on. It's like the snow trick I showed, one of or the most popular video I have. It's a little trick I use whenever I want something to pop out more. You gotta scrub it in, okay? And then what you do is grab your 2-inch brush or 1-inch, whatever you're blending with, very gently do the base, very, very gently, and just lift up. If you see it's still a bit harsh, you can blend a bit closer, lift upwards, and go across. And just like so, you have yourself more a cloud that stands out a bit more. Now, let's go ahead, let's put another mountain. So for that, some ivory black. Let's come up here, and it lives now here, a mountain. If you don't want a mountain in your painting, don't feel required, even though I doubt you guys feel required. But just putting it out there. I'm just putting a mountain because my gut is telling me to. And boom. Scratch off or scrape off that extra paint on the canvas. Now this one we want to stand out a bit more than the other one. So we're gonna use brighter colors to call more attention. So same procedure, blend that paint out, or move it around I should say, in order to put our highlights and shadows. Okay. Now, let me go ahead. We'll do it with the small palette knife. What the heck? We rarely use a small palette knife. Cut a roll. Pure white. Not grayed out. Very lightly. Shoot. Just like so, you can put on some gorgeous highlights. But it's very, very important you put absolutely no pressure. Notice how my fingers are not on the blade being this. They're just on the handle guiding my palette knife. And first, you start out with an angle pointing, then you kind of lean it more and let the canvas pick up. So you start like this, then you kind of lean out more. I don't want to do it on my palette, but that's the motion. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Let's grab this nice gray color. and a little touch of blue. Ooh, what a bright color. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. Cut it roll. Let's come up here. Just very lightly though. That's the most important thing. Oh, second most important. Most important thing is to buy the correct paint, a firm enough paint, so the paint isn't running and all that. Because even if you have light pressure and don't put any pressure, if you have a runny paint or the wrong paint, this method is gonna be harder. And chances are they won't work, but there's solutions, especially with acrylics. I've done mountain breaks with runny paint, but because of fixes I know how to do, I know how to adjust the paint. So I might do a video on that on my other channel, of course. If you guys haven't subscribed, the link is on my YouTube profile, so you guys could check my other channel out. Okay, very lightly. Now I'm gonna add some more white to my shadows. Cut a roll. Needs more. These are my highlights to my shadows. I just want a few. Don't want to overdo it. Okay. I like that. It gives that marbled look. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and work again on the highlights. Sometimes you lose a highlight here and there. Shoot. Boom. Boom. Make sure to always blend out. I'm gonna add another cloud that lives up in there. Maybe just like so. Scrub it on. Let's use a palette knife to emphasize. You can do it in circles. If you move your palette knife in circles, it'll look more natural when you blend it out. So don't just go at it straight, just smudge. Do little circle motion. Okay, let's come up here very lightly, just blending out that base. Lift up, go across. They kind of blend because light and light. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's start working on our land and all that. I think we took too long at the top. So maybe here, you know what? I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna grab a 1-inch brush. Screw it. I'm going to phthalo blue. I'm gonna add a little pond. I know I said little and I put a big one, but we can always cover it up with land. So it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Okay. So just adding in base color for some grass. Okay, do the same thing with the other side. All you care about is that outside edge, really. Now, let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab some titanium white. Just scrub it on. And then I'm gonna blend it out. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and let's add um, some um, distant trees. See, that one time I allowed myself to go over an hour, got myself used to that long period of time. Now I'm a little behind. I wanted to add a bit more, you can say. Lift up very lightly just to sharpen up those tips, we could say. Pull down. Just very, very gentle. Now, I'm going to some cadmium yellow, some sap green. Let's come up here. Nope, that's too dull. Let me add a little touch of the liquid white. Okay. That's looking a bit more promising. Oh yeah, that's better. The part where I messed up was my base color wasn't dark enough, and I'm just realizing right now I put more green than black. Which in return will have less contrast, because bright color and dark color, ooh, those will give you a nice contrast. But it's okay. Okay, just like so. Something subtle. Let's pull down some reflections. Okay, now let's go ahead. We need some dirt to support it. Some Van Dyke Brown. Cut a roll. Just like so. Ever so lightly. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Dark sienna. some white. Color roll. Very gentle. Very, very gentle. Just like so. Ooh, that marbled color is beautiful. Let me clean my knife off. Let's go ahead. Let's get crazy. Where do I want my tree to go? Boom. I lost it this time. Maybe maybe it goes off the painting. Maybe I'll cover it right now. Just kind of curving my strokes. So it's a bit more, you'll see right now. It's hard for me to explain. I I don't know how to explain it just now. Now, dark cyan and white. Whew. Very lightly. Very, very lightly. Just like so. Okay. Dark, Van Dyke brown, some white, a little bit of white. Whew. Very lightly. Okay. Let me clean off my knife and then we'll blend the two very, very lightly. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, load up our 2-inch brush. Let's come up here and just push up maybe a bush or two. I know it's a big old bush right there. Big old mean bush. Maybe right here. Boom. Okay. Just push it into the canvas. Now, I'm gonna dip a little bit my brush into liquid white and I'm going to go into cadmium yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, just a little bit. Let's come up here very, very lightly. Okay. Just plop in those highlights. Okay. Scratch on a few little sticks, twigs that live in there. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. So just loading up my brush. A little bit of sap green in there. Pull it one direction. That's very important. Shoot. Very, very lightly. Should take very little pressure. If you're pushing your brush too hard, chances are your paint's too thick and you need to thin it out with a little bit of either liquid white or paint thinner. Whew, big old sparkler there. Let's put in a nice orangey bush here and there. Here and there and there and here. Let's scratch in a few little sticks, twigs that support these bushes. Okay. Now, how much time? 30 minutes. Oops, dropped my palette knife. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna take a little bit extra of your time. Let's come up here. Boom. That goes off. Just like so. Okay. Let me beat the bristles of my brush. And just pull that paint. Think about it as a mountain. It's like a mini mountain. Okay. So, I'm going to my dark sienna white. Okay. A little bit up here. Van Dyke brown, white. Let me mix up a little bit more that paint color. Very, very gentle. You need no pressure for this to work. Okay. Very lightly. Let me fix that bush I messed up. Shoot. Let's go ahead. A little bit of that greenish color. Some of that yellow ochre. A little bit of grass growing on there. Let me fix up that base up a bit. Well, I think that might sum it up for today's painting. I think we're good with that. 34 minutes down. I really hope you enjoy this painting and try this painting out. It was not the best, but not the worst. It's not such a complicated painting, but not the easiest. I really hope you enjoy this video and try this painting out. Until then, I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, my friend. Goodbye.